Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 22 of the Grace Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time, we started our trial where we're defending Magnus McGilded, who was accused of murdering a brick mason by the name of, let me check his name, of Thrice Fried Mason. He was basically the murder happened in an omnibus. It was pretty cut and dry. Two guys in the omnibus. One guy is found dead, and the other has blood on his right glove. As such, things quickly take a turn for the worse, and basically, McGilded is on the verge of being declared guilty. However, we're going to try to voice against it. By delivering my final verdict, I trust there are no objections. Miss Usato, just tell me one thing.
Oh, yeah?
You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next?
Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point.
And it's stormy outside my house. Hooray! A summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination? From which century has that tome you have been been resurrected?
Ah!
Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. A relic, long forgotten, and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck.
Oh!
What even is it, Miss Usato? This so-called summation examination.
Oh, one moment, and I'll read about it.
You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails? Why do I even come to the courtroom anymore? Typical Nipponese.
Alright, Mr. Naruto, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury.
To do what exactly?
Appeal them to change their leading and reverse their decisions. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed.
Make them reverse their decisions? Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really. So it fell out of use.
I wonder why.
Because I said so. You see, I was the cause as to why it fell out of practice. You see, I was prosecuting cases 50 years ago, using my long lifespan to convince them to say no to it, because it was devoid of purpose. Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try and use it in this day and age.
Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting? Are you suggesting I'm wrong? Because if you're suggesting that, I will fight you right here and now.
I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruto?
A summation examination, our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry out or admit defeat? Forget it!
Mr. Naruto, are you sure that's the right decision?
You heard what the judge and prosecutor said. It's an antiquated procedure. It's history. We barely know our way around the law that's in use today. What hope would we have of pulling it off?
Darn it, Ryuunosuke! Why are you doing this? Ryuunosuke, just jump in the flame, dip your head into the water, and don't come back up until the bubbles stop!
What the? Okay, sorry. There was some thunder outside my house. Kinda startled me a bit. It was loud.
Perhaps we what we don't know can work to our advantage.
Sorry?
In any case, there's really only one course of action available to us here. What we can't afford to do is allow this trial to end.
What we don't know can work to our advantage. You're right, Mr. Sato. Let's bring this antiquated procedure back into the present day. And did I press the record button? Okay, good. I did press the record button. Good, good. It kind of made me a bit nervous. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Why else would we have the giant-ass torches that you light by punching fire into the sky? Does any other nation have this? Do you expect to go to France and find this? You can't even find a good bottle of wine there. Why do you think I grow my own grapes here in England, where the best wine is available? Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried. Just like my coffin.
Objection!
But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. No, this is Sparta! I was going to say this is Sparta, I don't know. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready?
Hey! Well, I'm not, There was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so...
All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision.
On what grounds?
You must all justify your decision and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty.
Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention of this was made before.
I don't really hope. Sorry. Try and get the voice back in my head. I don't really hold with all this justifying luck.
There we go. It's back. That seems to have thrown the jurors off.
It seems none of them have experienced this before.
All right then, the summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyers attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for. To turn this trial around. So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. The court hereby calls upon you to cite the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of this most serious of crimes. Now we get some real fun. 6 witnesses at once. I almost said 5 witnesses at once. Yes, apparently I can't count.
There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to be him.
Yeah, I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence.
He stuck the chap next to him, like this! Brazen, He stuck the chap next to him just like this! Brazen, I must say! Absolutely brazen!
I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and have drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares are our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years.
The scoundrel stabbing the poor man on the floor! It better make us believe.
I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now.
Some of the jurors don't seem to have fully formed arguments, though, do they?
Well, let's see what we can do. And CzarThwomp forgot to put the timer on. Let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them and use some very persuasive language, such as please and thank you.
Just a moment, Mr. Naruto. According to my book, that's not quite how it works.
Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defendant says.
But then...
They've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become.
Then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Oh dear. I'm just citing what I read about British law, Mr. Naruto.
Right, I'm sorry. Do you have any idea of how to make this work then?
Well, from what I can understand, The key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your argument.
What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more of the jurors say that we are looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes! I suppose you're right.
Find contradictions in their statements, and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. Yeah, 2 face slaps. I have to pull this off. Can we start proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Hung examination. The defense's rebuttal. Basically, I know for a fact that one of them, basically, Juror 2 is going to contradict with Juror 4. Okay, there we go. Actually, no. I want to press the what? Should we press Stabby Joe here? Yeah, I'll put Stabby Joe on the front lines.
Hold it!
Just because I want to have fun. Careful, you could hurt someone with that. I will hurt everyone with this. You're a fine one to talk. What if that sword hanging from your waist? It looks sharp. Can I borrow it when I go to the library? No, that's just my battered soul. Well, anyways, I despise anyone with too much money. That's why I kill them and dump the body in the local dumpster. They're all the same, all having some brickmaker or others behind the scenes, you mark my words. That seems very unlikely, doesn't it? Are you madman? Because I certainly am, and I know a madman when I see one. We know that what that small shorty is a rotten Shylock. Yes, well, that does seem to be the case, but...
Mr. Naruto, please, be careful what you say.
If he's been trying to squeeze money out of us, less fortunate, then as far as I'm concerned, he's guilty of sin. That man can hang. Come to think of it, didn't one of the other jurors have something to say about the defendant's underhand activities?
If you thought something, Mr. Naruto, don't let go. Test your theory.
Pit 2 jurors whose statements seem to be contradictory against each other. No time like the present to use X to pit them against each other, or I'll never get anywhere. I want to put in freaking Beebo's boss. That's how much it costs to take the omnibus? That's right. As the guildmaster, I decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. One fare no matter which bus you take or how far you're going. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Those freaking godless motor cars. Those freaking horseless carriages. We have to stop them. Us coachmen have to make a stand together. We have to fight these things. Motor cars, you say? Yes, and this murder on one of our buses is extremely damaging to our cause. It's beyond the pale. It'll lead to a decline passage, you mark my words. It's all that rascal fellow. He has to pay. Is it the crime or his buses he's more worried about? Anyways, every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. Even Beepo! How do you think I hold back his food? I keep him from buying food. Beepo is starving! Please feed Beepo! Beepo will get food when I can know he's trustworthy. Once he worships the omnibus, he can get all the food he wants. So if the driver says he saw him do it, that fellow in the dock is guilty of sin. Ah, come on, freaking the thunder! Okay, let's put you against the omnibus guy. Maid versus omnibus driver versus guild master.
Objection.
Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
They do. Explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Silver's Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus in the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beepo, he took 20 fences and fares.
Quite right, I have those precisely typed neatly here in front of me.
And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That's it. That is a very convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man? Why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it does add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare.
1 person's fare?
Yes. In other words, on the omnibus that night, it is distinctly possible that there was another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Good gracious!
This can't be right! The coachman of the guild are good, honest men! Why not? Trustworthiness is our watchword!
The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon? You want to fight me? You want to fight me and my guild? I'll get a bunch of omnibus drivers and we'll kick your ass! We'll get the horses to kick your ass! I'll Beepo kick your ass!
Beepo will do anything for food and warmth! Beepo just wants to live!
Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider this as if consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Alright then, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end,
Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire into the innocents out of the scales.
Now hold your horses there, coachman.
We were all in agreement. Why'd you have to go in? Wait till I get my hands on you, Beepo! Beepo gets no food tonight!
Beepo is starving! Please let Beepo eat! Beepo wants to see the light!
Beepo doesn't get to see the sun! Beepo should have done that before he started lying to me! Now go back in the tool shed, Beepo!
This is all very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same.
For the love of Mike, not you as well!
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards and financial manners.
Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again.
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto, you did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue.
2 more? Actually, there is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
Then what? That's where you must strike next.
So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly! You can do it!
Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination.
Basically, pit this guy against this guy. Sorry, against this woman, I swear. Those 2 statements are completely contradictory.
What? Explain, counsel, post haste.
Oh, dearie me, I was only doing a jump before my... Oh, dearie me, I was only doing a jump with my other half.
What is this claptrap? What does contradictory even mean, I ask you? We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual movement when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3.
What? Can't you see I'm busy here? My stabbing knife is stuck!
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it?
Ha! Want me to test it, do you? It was like this! Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up! It's just like the prim banker said!
Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true.
Now then, juror number 6.
Oh, is that me? Is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this! He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor! The coachman said so!
Now don't move! Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor.
Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions.
What?
Bless my stitches, what a muddle!
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh, but why? Why the dickens would they lie?
I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies.
The scales. I don't believe it. Wait! Now hear this, my vergers. I warn you, cannot listen to this man. I want to go home. I have warm slippers I must wear. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us. If I could use magic, you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, Doc Jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if the 2 witnesses have slightly different recollections of the events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you, and I will after this trial. I will end you for a ham sandwich.
Who are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you.
They're ready to kill each other now. Juror fight, juror fight, juror fight. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the 2 witnesses see 2 different moments of the same crime? Okay, I just want to check the autopsy. Stab once. Okay, just wanted to double check. Out of the question. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman. What is it, you Doc Jinx? Come on, out with it. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What? What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. I just want to go home. Please just let the trial end. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. My opinions are the only ones that matter in this courtroom. I am the god of this courtroom. I have a fancy hat. So where's your evidence, man? That's what I want to see. I say the 2 witnesses saw 2 different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of question, show me some proof. It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Some irrefutable hard evidence, as you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the 2 witnesses saw 2 different moments of the same crime, as proven by the autopsy report. This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen. Only once. Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen 2 different times. Alright, I concede defeat. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruto! We've won!
What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir! No one deceives me and lives to tell about it! Just ask the 4 hookers who are dead behind the dumpster in Whitehall! But we had a consensus! I said shut your trap, or do you want to join the hookers behind the dumpster? I know a liar when I see one, and if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head, and it will pleasure me so. This is the face of a guy who gets off on this. Look at this. This is the face of a guy who's enjoying his kink. Just look how sensually he's licking that knife. I swear. It's disturbing how sensual this is. Please tell me he's a barber.
Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places, and I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. So, Lord Zieks, continue to substantiate the quick case for the prosecution, if you please.
Just look at that wine ball. And her just smashes. She just smashes it.
Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hollow chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
And I love how just the wine teleports. It doesn't even spill. It teleports. Watch how basically the wine, it doesn't even teleport fully. It doesn't drop. It just teleports to somewhere else. Meanwhile, just with Hosonaga, when Barack just smashes that wine glass, just Hosonaga starts coughing and just spews that wine. The wine goes to Hosonaga.
Darn it! Every time! What is this? I don't have tuberculosis, I don't have the consumption. What is happening? Why does this keep happening to me?
That's not blood, it's wine coming out of Hosonaga.
Lord Von Zieks!
Is it cold in here, or is it just me?
As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. I can only judge you with my eyes. So I honor the deathly silence, and I listen to the charade. It seems I overestimate the intelligence of the jury.
Yeah, that's gonna get on your side.
Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. And will you stop zooming that camera in on me? Stop zooming it in! Cameraman! Stop it!
And then Barack, he just takes the wine bottle and slams it over the cameraman's head.
Get that camera out of my face! Why does it keep zooming? Bring forth the witnesses once more! Look at my shoulder pads! Witnesses, I trust you at the summation examination we just had to endure.
Oh yes, sir! That I did, sir! Please don't kill people!
Of course I heard it.
Oh Oh, yes, sir. I heard it.
You, sir, on the end, the coachman. I believe it's Beepo.
Yes, sir. My lord, sir. Please show mercy upon Beepo.
If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh mio Dio.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
I only carried more passes than I swear, but
Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
He throttled us on the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
I tell you, I saw McGilded stabbing the man. Everything I said before stands.
Yeah, better voice.
Oh, yes, he stabbed him, he did. I think so, yes.
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom fifth passenger, conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend, never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cozenage. Beepo! Explain yourself! I'm kicking your ass, Beepo! I'm climbing over this bench and kicking your ass here!
No! Don't kick Beepo's ass! Please!
Too late, Beepo! I'm coming over there!
And then basically the foreman, then juror number 5, he just jumps over that bench and starts punching Beepo like Ralphie on Scott Farkas in Christmas Story.
Oh, damn me sorry, Guildmaster! Please don't flog Beepo with your shoe again! Beepo still has the bruises!
The guild's fare is 4 pence across the board! You know that! I might understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare!
It's so cold, and the last one of the day is always empty.
Beepo wants to live! Beepo wants to have meaning to his life!
You have been dishonest, coachman.
I'm so sorry.
You're a disgrace, Beepo! A disgrace! I'm banishing you!
Where are you banishing Beepo? Where are you banishing me?
I'm gonna banish you to the one place where you will never hurt anyone and where you will suffer for all eternity!
Open the portal! And then a demonic portal opens up in the room, and juror number 5, he just tosses Beepo into the portal. No! And then Beepo, he comes down the other side, he's in the very big circus.
Welcome to the very big circus! And your service accident brought dishonor in the entire guild! I spit on you!
If I may, sir, I had to pay attendance on the bus just last week.
What?!
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently.
No, that figures.
Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games.
Absolutely. Cross-examination. Just gotta look through it all. Okay.
Hold it!
Let's press this. Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you?
Oh, yes, that's right!
You said that the victim was on the floor, and described the assailant holding the knife as an ice pick grip.
Beep, I suppose! I might have, yes, but the car before the horse, maybe.
What's this?
Well, I'm quite sure most of it. I was drawing the horses when I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck. Oh, I expect that was me, sir. Oh, I turned around, yes, I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking out of his midriff. I remember because I was thinking to myself, lucky bastard! Why couldn't it have been me? Why couldn't someone have put people out of his misery? Look at my life! This is my life! Please end me now!
The saddest of people.
That's right, and the fellow with the famous hand, yes!
So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all.
I really thought I did, but when I go over to get in my head, no, I suppose I did actually see the precise moment of the stabbing. Did I? Why are you pointing your cane? Please! If you're going to use that cane, please use it to finish your people!
Okay, pursue.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay?
Now listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that?
Eh? Sorry, I thought that was Ryuunosuke doing that Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Okay, no chance. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on the top of the omnibus, that is.
Peeping? I'm a respectable city bank, I'll have you know.
And I know what I saw. I remember it clear as a bottle day. It was a grim scene, I don't mind telling you.
Thank you, Mr. Fairplay.
Oh, excuse me, I was getting a little hot on the collar there, my lord.
I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw.
Oh, I can do that all right. I'll tell you exactly how grim it was.
Objection.
Glove time. One hand. Blood-soaked hands? We'll answer that in the next episode. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this video. Sorry, I'm out of it right now. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this video. What's wrong with me? I swear. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you next time. Bye.